Greetings, Geechlings. Geechlin Prime here with another One Punch Man power-up video. Today we're doing Drive Knight S-Class Rank 9 Hero. Just like with all the other power-up videos, we do like an equipment, super moves, like general power-up concept, that sort of thing. But those last two really aren't going to come into much of a play because I mostly could only come up with equipment based around the one piece of equipment that Drive Knight is known for. The shape-changing box. It's that piece of equipment that he had that like turned his arm into silver, the electric sword, or his lower half into a centaur for centaur form, you know, that kind of a thing. So yeah, and to kick off this, we have the Marisi form. This name is derived from the armed guardian diva Marisi of Buddhism, and because the One Punch Man series takes place in Japan, where Buddhism is the main religion, I thought that made a perfect sense. This is a backpack configuration, so it sticks onto his back after it molds its general shape, and then four fairly muscular, bulky arms come out, and then it just makes every Machop ever jealous, because he's got 6 arms. But anyway, the biggest advantage of this would be, you know, the boon to hand-to-hand combat. You know, like, imagine him using knife hands from 6 different directions, or punching you, or, you know, it's like, it's gonna be a lot more effective. But past just combat uses, it gives him a level of mobility, like he can start scaling walls like Spider-Man or just a spider in general. Because with his enhanced strength, he could even climb walls similar to the gargoyles, you know, because like they grip into the walls when they're climbing them. So yeah, with that, and then plus he could even fight wall on the side of a building, like he could anchor himself with 2 arms, and then the other 4 are just, you know, pummeling whatever's coming at him. So yeah, next up is Spider Form. A little similar, but not quite the same. This one's inspired by the Iron Spider suit, where, you know, you have these. With this, it would be like 4 extendable spider-like limbs that come out of his back, but there's an added bonus. Also with this form comes these like wire shooters that are mounted on his forearms, so then he can shoot wire. But guess what? It's electrified, because he seems to have a somewhat affinity when it comes to electricity. I don't know if that was just from the form or because in silver it gave off like this electric aura kind of thing. So let's just go with that. This one would also give him improved mobility, agility, because, you know, it's not quite as bulky, you know, so there's a weight difference there, so he might be a little quicker. This would help to traverse, you know, urban environments, even forested environments. And because of the wire shooters, he can restrain enemies, he can fight enemies that way from, you know, various ranges. So yeah. Next up is the Tank Form. This one is kind of in the way of like the Centaur form, where it's one for his lower body. Except this time it's the form of a tank with like side-mounted energy cannons, and its main functions would be so that like he can just charge through hordes of enemies, you know, full on like that, you know, shooting them along the way or hitting them with his arms maybe, I don't know. So yeah, it would give him like a general speed boost. He has weapons. He can like traverse certain like harder trekked terrains, because, you know, tanks can do that. That's the whole reason that they're made. So yeah, anything a tank can do, he can do better. Next up is Jet Form. This is another backpack configuration where he, you know, the backpack appears on his back after it's attached, and then poof, wings. Think Buzz Lightyear, I guess. But on the wings, there are 4 miniguns that shoot, energy blasts, similar to tank form. And the usages for this would be like, because he can now fly, he can quick travel, it's easier to patrol, to scout, the cities and whatnot. He can do aerial rescue or distract like kaiju-sized monsters, like buzzing around them like an insect while shooting at them to keep them distracted, or to just fight flying monsters in general, because he can fly and shoot at them. So, yeah. Pretty general concept there. Next is the Splitter Shield. This I combine the aspects of like a big shield Garna, where you get this big old shield, but a while back I saw Odin Makes, and he made a replica of Captain America's shield from Infinity War. And it's like these 2 arm-mounted shields that look nothing like he's ever used before. So basically this shield would split into 2. Be it if they shrink or not, I haven't fully decided. You be the judge. And yeah, so like he can guard from the front, or he can split it in half and then start charging and blocking attacks from the flanks, from the front, things like that. And they could be an improvised weapon as well, because, blunt damage and whatnot. So yeah, all manners of defense, he's got it covered. Next is the Electro Cable. Going along with the electric ideas that I've already emphasized that he possibly has, and the one I already implemented, this is a electrified multi-use retractable weapon. This would just go on one arm, but like its functions would be like, say, an electro whip, claw, like it can shoot out and reach from a distance and grab onto things. Think kind of the what is it called, the claw that like Link uses in Legend of Zelda. I forget what it's called. He could use it like a flail, because like it just depends on what he wants to pop out of the thing. Cat o' nine tails, and various other whip-esque weapons. This would give him like mid-range to long-range capabilities depending on the use, and also its utility-based functions of the claw. Grappling hook and like swinging and that sort of a thing. Next is the Shoulder Cannon. This is a shoulder-mounted cannon, as you can assume, but this is more of a straightforward laser cannon. Really nothing too fancy about it. It gets the job done. I mean, it shoots energy blasts of various rates, as most energy cannons would do, that sort of thing. Next is the Beetle Railgun. The name came after I drew the mock-up for this one. Basically, it's just this railgun that it mounts onto his front, and then it charges up the attack, the energy forms, and then it snaps back, and then the energy blast shoots off, and then it just kind of reloads itself that way, and then boom, boom. So rapid fire railgun, basically. It would be in the form of either a Rhino or Hercules beetle, maybe. So yeah, the very powerful weapon. I mean, next is the Magno Gauntlets. The mock-up for this one, not the best, I'm afraid. Essentially, it's like 2 giant magnets now attached to his hands, so he can then grab and throw metal objects in a pseudo form of telekinesis. So yeah, and that could be its own form of a trick, because like psychic using monsters, like they might think he's actually using telekinesis if they don't understand what a magnet is, depending on its form. I mean, like, it could be very like minimalistic looking magnets, or it could be the giant ones that I did a mock-up of. So, like, they may not know right off the bat. And because he's a machine, they probably can't read his mind, so then they wouldn't know. And they're like, oh, he's blocking my thought, or he's blocking my abilities. It's like, I'll just, somehow put a stop to his powers. And then it's like, well, you couldn't because it's a machine. And it's a magnet. It's not another psychic user or something. So that could be interesting and a fun little dynamic. So yeah. Next up is the plasma saw. This one combines the aspects of a chainsaw and a plasma cutter. Basically, think of Ash from Evil Dead or Hoss Delgado from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. It's more or less just a chainsaw on his hand, except that it doesn't actually have a chain. It just has rotating plasma cutters on it in the similar fashion of a chainsaw. I mean, they're used to cut metal and other very durable, materials, so that chainsaw is going to get through just about anything. So, he ain't going to have a problem. It's like, oh, you got a door that won't open? There you go. But yeah, and the final bit is a super move. I call it Knuckle Rush. This move uses the Marisi form so that he's got those extra arms, and then he just delivers the mightiest flurry of punches. And this could be, also done, like for a palm attack as well. So like palm rush maybe. Not really sure. But yeah. Let me there's probably more ideas that I could, do in the future. So there may be volumes to this that I get in some point, but who knows. But anyway, let me know what you thought about all these ideas. Any ideas you've had about Drive Knight and what his mysterious shape-changing box can achieve for him. And yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Here's where you can follow me. Links down below. Until next time, Geechlings, roll out.